This album, the vocal performances are something I'm really proud of. You know, I really worked hard on them, and I think that the producers that I worked with on this album, Ryan Aniello and Eric Ross, Ryan Tedder and Butch Walker, I think they really did a great job at finding the right gear to put in front of my voice. And each one chose different gear, but I think that they really used the right equipment for me to sing in front of, you know, depending upon what the song was and what the vocal performance was going to be. You know, I think that they really did a great job in really bringing what they did best to the songs that I was attempting to record with each of them. They really gave me, each of the producers really gave me their best approach on my work, which was really a big deal for me.
That equipment, why is that so important? Because a voice comes from the inside, not
yes, it does.
of equipment itself.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But so much of your sound and your sound being captured a certain way, you know, every song you sing isn't sung the same way, in the same way at all. And in fact, you know, I use different technique for different songs. So depending upon which song I'm singing, some of the very fine nuances within the song or certain tones are best captured on different types of gear, depending upon what the song is and what, you know, what the range of the song is. Whether if it's I'm singing harder or softer, or higher notes or lower notes, or which parts of my voice I'm using on each song, you know. So having producers use the gear that's going to best suit the vocal performance on those tracks to make it the truest performance for that song, you know.
Was it also a whole new world for you, or?
Oh yeah,
did you tasted a little bit from it before?
No, it really was. It was very. This particular process was very different from all the other processes I've had. Specifically because I worked with a multitude of producers. Typically, when I make an album, it will be with one producer at a time. The whole record will be with one person, you know. This album, there are 4 different producers on it, and so you'll really hear the different approaches that each producer takes with the songs, and with me as well. The commonality is the vocal performance. And the piano performance, and then the mixing process at the very end, you know. But this is really the most, I think it's the most exciting record I've ever made. It's the most diverse record I've ever made. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that I worked with multiple people on the album. Most of the songs on the album were, you know, I wrote alone, but there's 4 songs on the album that I co-wrote. And that also adds diversity to the record that wouldn't have been there had I done it all on my own.
Does it give you also a new perspective on songwriting itself?
Very much, very much.
What's the most important thing that you've learned in songwriting itself?
It's hard to say if there's a most important thing. Well, but there are definite, I will say that there are some very valuable pieces that I've taken away with the process. One was that I was able to open up much more co-writing with someone than I thought I would be able to.
Opening up in a personal, emotional way?
In a personal way, and with my pen, you know. Yeah. Writing things down that in the past perhaps I would have thought, no, this would be inappropriate for me as a solo artist to write or to sing live. You know, this isn't how my fans would want to view me, perhaps, you know. But having been put in a room with another writer at one point, and then going and writing with another writer after that, a different, you know, other songs, it really allowed me to just experiment and to not be as apprehensive perhaps as I would have been on my own. At first I thought I would be more apprehensive because there would be another personality in the room and I wouldn't want to reveal certain things, or, you know, wouldn't want to mess up in front of someone. Was part of it. You don't want to make mistakes in front of another person, you know. Makes you self-conscious. But I realized that after going at it for a few hours, that it actually was much more easy to to open up artistically than I would have thought before, because you have two minds working together and no one is judging anybody. You realize that it really is more of an experiment without judgment than a judgment where people are looking at every little detail. It's more of you trying to get something great, you know, the best of your ability with another person, and you want to impress each other, you know, and you want to give your best material and your best work. And by being with another person in the room, it keeps you motivated and keeps you on target, you know. That's not to say that the songs I wrote alone I'm not proud of. I think that, you know, each of them has their place for me. You know, I'm really proud of the other songs. But the co-writing even allowed me to write on my own more effectively. It just brought new perspective. Yeah.